What's going on, world of the internet? Chris Jenkins here. About to get started in just a second. If you know me, you know my life is a little crazy right now with a few life changes. And sometimes it has me sliding in just in the nick of time to do some things. So I see some comments are strolling in here, which is good. Hey, I got on my t-shirt that you guys can check out here that everybody needs to purchase when they get a chance. It's the vows that we all need to take right now if we're trying to be Carolina Panthers fans, as we got a tough season ahead of us. It's been a tough season so far, but hey, have a special show tonight that I'm super excited to be about. So I'm not going to make this too much about me. I really want to get everybody involved in this show, and I'm going to bring them on one by one. See some comments coming. I love it. And this is my first time using this software like this, so excuse me if there's any hiccups. But first thing I want to do before I start to bring everybody in is go over a few transactions that the Carolina Panthers made today. I did want to have it up on the screen with a graphic, but again, you guys can bear with me. So we had quite a few transactions today. I'll start off with the injury ones, which is Cameron Irving, our tackle, and Matt Paradis, our center, has been placed on IR. We reported that yesterday about Matt Paradis. His IR is going to be season ending, and it's not expected right now that Cam Irving's will be the same. We also had a few other transactions with some guys getting waived, running back Royce Freeman, as well as linebacker Clay Johnston. Let me correct myself there. And then we also signed our punter Lachlan Edwards to the 53-man roster. He has been our punter for the last 2 weeks, has been doing a good job. So he had that elevation. So that's good to see. Good to see. All right. So great show tonight. Let me first introduce my co-host, because it didn't dawn on me until last week after the show that a lot of people thought that Lauren was like a guest, and she's not a guest. She's part of the Charlotte Vibe family. She's actually in the press box with me every Sunday at the home games, and she's going to be with me here. So, Lauren, let me see if I can hit this button correctly and bring you on to the stream. Looks like I did.
Hello.
And I hear your voice.
How are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Doing good.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. So, all right. So in no particular order, I'm just going to go in order of what I'm saying here on the screen. And let me see if I can hit this button here. Oh.
What up? I wasn't even ready, man.
That's all right. You ain't got to be ready.
I wasn't even ready, man. I was asleep over here, man.
Look, we born ready here. We got.
Hey. Oh man, hold on. Let me.
Wait, I gotta get like a backdrop over here, like a Carolina Panthers backdrop.
No, I'm just doing too much. Don't.
That's such a newbie.
Hey, Pat Coletrain. Hey, everybody that's on the show tonight, it's not on there yet. But by the time you watch this replay, if you're not watching the replay, I'm going to have links for everybody that's coming in on the show. Definitely show them some love. If you don't at least get one more follower tonight, then I'm not doing my job. So please check out Pat Coletrain. He does a lot of cool stuff, but he's a guest on the show tonight. Pat, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. Thank you for having me on.
All right. Let me see if I can hit this button again and just keep on working here. Boom. You got the fresh haircut. He's going to unmute himself.
No, I got my hair pulled back in a ponytail, homie. That's COVID lets you try new things. I got the long hair for the first time in my life.
Are you rocking the man bun? Is that almost a man bun?
It's a whole on ponytail, homie. Like, it's cooler than a bun.
So welcome to the show, Tony Dunn of the C3 podcast. He's going to be joining us tonight as well. Tony, appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
And let me see if I can continue to work these buttons right. I see him there.
Yo.
Shell.
What's up?
How you doing, sir?
Doing all right. Can't complain.
Hey, I appreciate you joining me. So here you go. You have your starting five lineup, even though we're talking about football. Chris Jenkins and Lauren Ruiz. No, I said it wrong. Say it for me, Lauren.
Ruiz.
See, of Charlotte Vibe, joined with Pat Coletrain, Shellitronnn, and Tony Dunn. So, hey, glad to have everybody here tonight. These comments are coming. So just to let everybody know, the format of the show tonight is this is kind of like our mid-season review. Some things that we're going to talk about. Everybody's going to share their piece, and we might have some little comments on there, but I hadn't told you guys beforehand, but let's try to keep your pieces to about 3 to 4 minutes. And then after everybody shares their mid-season thoughts, discussions, whatever they want to highlight, then we're going to answer all these questions for these comments that I see coming on. So please continue to leave those comments. We're going to run through them, and let's see, in no particular order. Who should I start with? Who wants to go first?
I don't want to go first. Which means I'm probably going to go first. Let's go, man.
I'll go. Oh, I was going to say.
Okay, go ahead. Ladies first.
You're good.
Ladies first.
The ladies raising their hand. So hold on before you start. Let me try to get my little thing up here. And drum roll if I can get it right. Boom. Hold on. There's one more thing to do. Hold on.
There you go. That's my number one.
And let's see if I can do this. Bam.
Oh.
There we go. Lauren, you have the floor.
I have the floor. I'm going to start off. I have two things I want to talk about. Number one being Sam Darnold. Everyone wants to talk about him in a bad way. So I'll start out with Sam. Sam threw 3 interceptions yesterday, had a 26.3 passer rating. He finished 16 of 33 for 172 yards. And he still has not thrown a touchdown pass for the 3rd week in a row. And he's also thrown 11 interceptions this season. So I'm just going to leave it at that and say Sam's got to go. We've got to let him go. But for the money that we paid for him, I can't believe we exercised his 5th year option too, which we're going to be paying him $18-something million next year. As much as I want to say like that's a waste of money, I mean it is, but we cannot afford to keep him here. We just can't. I don't want to see next season go the same way that this is going this year. So I'm going to start out with that with Sam. I won't get too much into detail because I know everyone has their thoughts and wants to share about Sam. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And then I'll talk about a little bit positive on the positive side. If it weren't for the defense coming in to save the day every single week, I feel like the outcomes of these games would have just been so much worse. I've been impressed with the defense week after week all season. I mean, they were ranked first in the league for the first 3 games. And I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say they're ranked 9 right now. I'm not 100% sure. But Shaq Thompson, Brian Burns, Hassan Reddick, those 3 guys impressed me each and every week. I mean, I know we missed out on Shaq for a few weeks there, but it's so great to have him back. And yeah, all around, I'm just thankful for our defense this year. I've been super impressed with them. And like I said earlier, I just feel like the outcomes of these games would have been so much more worse if it weren't for them. So shout out to the D-line. And I'll leave it at that. Short, sweet, and to the point.
It's always fun watching the game with Lauren in the press box, guys.
No, it's not. It's not.
You know, we can't cheer in the press box, and she'll be over there like, ooh, like doing all this stuff, wanting to talk, but she doesn't. She does talk. She doesn't let it out.
I do talk, but I try to keep it. I try to keep my feelings inside because if I were to fully express myself in the way that I was feeling, no one would want to hear that. So I keep it PG. I'll just keep it. I'll say that I keep it PG in the press box, but sometimes I just want to scream because they're making me want to pull my hair out. And Sam Darnold and the O-line are the ones that make me do that the most. But yeah.
Hey, anybody like the way that Sam's body language is after he throws an interception?
No.
I tell you one thing. Can you imagine it being worse? Like, that's the thing. Is he said if the defense, I mean, God. Oh, if it was worse, that would be awful.
You know, it's funny, man. When she said save the date, I thought about, you know how on the internet they talk about, you know, when you're watching the Marvel movies and they talk about how the superhero be tearing the city up and how the innocent civilians just looking around like, yeah, thank you, but the city tore up, man. Like, that's what it kind of feels like when she brought up the defense saving the day, because you're right, but we still losing. You know what I'm saying?
I know. So, I mean, the defense can't do it all. So
right.
We've got to have some help on the O-line, and we're struggling there right now. So
appreciate it, Lauren. All right, so Pat Coletrain, give me 1 second. You're going to be next up because you're next on my screen. What was your first point, Pat?
Lauren took mine. I think it's probably gonna be everybody.
You can piggyback off of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
there we go.
Donald is not the guy, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. I gave him a chance. You know, I was about to say shot and a chance. So I gave him a chance.
Shots fired.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I gave him a chance, man. And after this game, that's it, man. Like he just not the guy, man. I think a lot of Panther fans, who really supported him, wanted him to be the guy, and we wanted to believe that the Panthers were a different team than the Jets, or a better team than the Jets, and Matt Rule could really, help this guy's career. But he almost made it worse, man. He made it look worse. And so, so Sam Darnold not the guy, man. I really don't care to see much more of him. I know we got him for another year. I'm not sure what they can do about it. Like Lauren brought up about his contract. We could possibly lose some money, you know what I'm saying? But I think at this point, we just in a bad situation with him. We're in a bad situation with him.
At what point did you lose the confidence in Sam, Pat?
I'm gonna be honest, I never really was sold on it. I was still I wanted to believe in the guy. I was trying to believe in the guy, you know what I'm saying? And he had bright spots. You know what I mean? Like those rushing touchdowns, it was lit. But now it's just like, man, if you can't rush no touchdowns, what do you do? And my confidence in him is kind of like his confidence in himself. He ain't got it, man. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got it, man. So
you believe in him more than he believes in him.
Yeah, for real. I think that's true. I think PJ Walker believe in him more than he believe in himself. So but I think he's not the guy. I try to give him the chance, and I'm not sold on him.
Okay, fair enough. There you go.
That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go.
What else
how
on
long
your mind?
We got? How long? How long can I talk about this?
Go ahead. Go just 2 minutes.
No, I ain't gonna say. The coaching has been bad on the offense side of the ball, man. It's been terrible. You know what I mean? And even with C-Mac, there's nowhere in the world the coaching should be this bad with all these weapons. C-Mac, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, man. I mean, these weapons have taken a step back to nobody don't even believe in them no more, man. I think that comes down to coaching. You know what I'm saying? We got a head coach who truly and I talked about this on my show. When it comes to the Sam Darnold situation, we knew Sam Darnold was hurt, and we see the news now, so that's probably a whole nother show we could talk about. We see the news that Sam Darnold was hurt, and all last week, PJ Walker was practicing with the ones. Then in this game, your head coach decided, hey, let's just put Sam Darnold in there instead of using the guy that practiced all week with the one. You know what I'm saying? So that comes down to coaching. And when it comes to Joe Brady, at the same time, I try to give him a chance too. I don't follow college football like that. I'm not scared to admit that. People was telling me Joe Brady, he was the next genius to come into the league. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of went with it. And he just looks like another young coach that has no idea what he is doing out there. So this offense, this coaching on the offense side has been terrible. And I'm kind of like, no, I've seen enough, man. I know we can't let everybody go. Okay, but that's just I'm thinking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about it. But I'm just not sold, man. Everything we do on offense has not been good, man. And it shouldn't look this bad. We've had worse teams than this. I mean, way worse teams. Even when it comes down to the offensive line, I don't even want to talk about the offensive line, but even when it comes down to the offensive line, we have had way worse offenses than this. And for it to look like this, man, how many points we scored yesterday?
6.
Man.
6, yeah.
Hey, Pat.
And Gonzalez did that. Oh my gosh, it's terrible, man. So
Pat,
the coach has been bad, man.
Was there a comment out there about the Panthers trying to be slick and pretend like Darnold wasn't going to be available, even though they knew he was going to play, and tried to pull the okey doke and get him and Christian out there to get a competitive advantage?
That's what it kind of looked like at first. Whenever they were putting the news out there, even in the press conference, you saw PJ. He was talking like he was actually going to start. So I don't even think PJ knew. But at first they were talking like, yeah, they're not sure if he's going to play. They're not sure he's going to play. Then they say, oh, it's possible he could play because C-Mac back, so it's possible he could play. It wasn't until the pregame that we found out that he was going to play. Matter of fact, pregame, they said right before the kickoff, they said, "Oh, PJ, he's putting on his helmet. Sam Darnold got on a baseball cap." So immediately, I was like, "Okay." Then they tried to do the switcheroo, but they did the switcheroo again right there, right before the game kickoff. They did another switcheroo and say, "Yeah, go put Sam Darnold in there, coming off a concussion and a shoulder injury that he just had an MRI on." But I'm pretty sure y'all gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a little freestyle moment where we'll all get a chance to go in there and answer some things. But I will say this: Lauren can talk about it. So there's a hot mic at the game, and we got to hear it. It was kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh!
From the breath. But I would have loved to have had a hot mic on PJ Walker when he found out what was going down.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah, I think they did him a little dirty probably on that. All right, Shellitron been sitting there in the wings waiting like he about to like just tear it up. He got the bandana on, just kind of being chill. How you doing,
yeah,
boss?
At this point, it's a little tough really to focus in on one particular thing. That's still Pat's point. It makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna get to that here in a second. I might be the only person who did not mention Sam Darnold. My first point was perception versus reality. Look, we all understand Sam's bad. Dude is garbage. It don't matter. Like at this point, talking about it ain't gonna do nothing for us. So we all understand what's understood don't need to be explained. But what I want to talk about right now is perception versus reality. And this isn't about this season and like I guess this past week specifically, but for the past couple years, it seems like we do things that make us believe one thing. It like trading back so many times, right? We trade back 8 different times in the draft. We get all these draft picks. It looks good. Whoa, we have more draft picks.
Wait on it.
We have second round picks, third round picks. Oh, whoa. We have all these picks. Wait a second. We have so many picks. We can use one of our picks on a long snapper.
Speak on it. I'm sorry.
Don't got an O-line. Hey, don't got an O-line yet, but we can get a long snapper, and this is the best long snapper in the history of college football. So you already know. I had people telling me he was going to be the GOAT. I had folks telling me. So it looked like a very, very good situation to have all these picks. And I don't think we had a very good draft. I said it during the draft in my live streams. I got told I ain't know football. And I'm going to talk about this too. Terrace Marshall, the idea of T-Mar was really cool in the draft. But then you think about what's the real reason? What's the reality of picking another wide receiver in the second round of a draft where you get a cornerback first, you have literally no O-line outside of T-Mar or out of Timo, and now you have a guy who is very talented, was a first round talent, but also has some small red flags on him, and also at best, if everyone stayed healthy, was going to be the 4th receiving option behind DJ, Robbie if he was actually a receiver this year, C-Mac if he could stay healthy, and then it was going to be T-Mar at best. So you pick up what was supposed to be your 4th best receiving option in the second round, and although the pick itself looked cool, like, okay, we got Terrace Marshall Jr., the reality of it is that was probably a situation where someone was drafting based off of YouTube highlights and not based off of what the team actually needs. And I was also told that you don't draft based off needs, you draft based off of what kind of highlights guys have. So I don't know anything about that. It is what it is right there. I was told that, so I'm not a scout, I'm not an analyst, so I'm gonna leave that to the scouts and analysts out there. Also, one more thing before I get to my next point. The perception of seeing Robbie Anderson yelling at Sam Darnold, like, yeah, hold up. Yeah, Rob, you tell Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's trash, bro. Yeah, we don't like Sam Darnold. He's not a very cool guy. And then you think about it. Wait a minute. Robbie, you've been trash too. Hold up. Who you yelling at? Who are you yelling at? Let me yell at you real quick, brother. And then he turned back around. He spun the block. He spun the block.
Yeah, he did.
To yell at him again.
He came back walking down the street in front of his house. You know, one other thing too, we don't even have all that feeling about the perception of having all these draft picks. And Shelly, we ain't even got no draft picks next year. You know what I'm saying? It felt like we were getting all these draft picks, and then we look up that we ain't got no draft. We might as well take a nap on day 2 and 3.
Exactly, and that was my second point. Cue it up for me, Chris, real quick for me.
Oh, no, I got it wrong. Here we go.
There it is. The importance of a plan. Why are we making all these aggressive moves in what should be a rebuild year for us? Last year, supposed to be a rebuild year. We were pretty aggressive last year. I think we were more aggressive this past season, especially in the draft. It was like we assumed that we could just fix Sam. Like it was going to be Joe Brady fixing Sam. And plus, I mean, the plan for next year, Joe Brady's gone. Whether for positive reasons or negative reasons, Joe Brady's going to have another job, whether it's going to be a head coach somewhere. He's probably going to replace Matt Nagy. I don't know. I mean, he couldn't be worse than Matt Nagy for the Bears. He could be literally, there's a few spots actually he could be. Maybe the Dolphins. But I mean, they wouldn't get worse, I guess. I don't know. But
he could be working at Costco at this point, dude.
I mean, I feel like the thing is for the Panthers right now, we have like I think Lauren said we have all these good players, right? No, I'm sorry, it was Pat. We have all these good players, but we have these good players. I'm not really sure if the chemistry is there. Yes, we've had way worse talent on the offense, but I'm not really sure how well Sam and Robbie actually mesh. You know, they do have time together or had time together on the Jets. I'm not really sure if the timing with DJ is all the way there. I'm not really sure. Like Lauren mentioned the defense. We have lots of really good defensive players, but it feels like it's more individual stats and highlights than actual full defenses and like putting together like game-changing kinds of drives. Obviously, the offense is garbage, so like it's really hard to do that. You're on the field so often, you're getting tired and whatnot. But I feel like we see more highlight plays and more individual kind of skill sets from our defense than an actual defensive unit as a whole. And there's really no plan in place, right? You have to understand that this upcoming year, we have a lot of guys who fans want to keep. They want to extend these dudes. Like you have Hassan Reddick, you have Dante, you got Jermaine Carter. Jermaine Carter plays 83% of the snaps. Hassan Reddick plays 84% of the snaps. You have to keep Dante. He plays 100%, like he's at 95. And we have money coming in. But how are you going to sign Hassan Reddick and Dante and Jermaine Carter? You have no draft picks and you have no O-line. And if you do all that, you will not have money in the following year, or I guess in this year, to sign guys who are going to be free agents next year, because the money doesn't just happen for this year. If you're paying dudes $15, $16, $17 million for the next 4 years, that $17 million is coming off next year as well. So when you have guys like DJ and Brian Burns who have to get extended next year, what are you going to do? Do you really want those dudes to play on the last year of their contract and then bet on themselves and then leave? Maybe one of those two, you may have to lock them in this offseason so they can't bet on themselves and say, okay, to the highest bidder or to the team with the best chance to get a ring, that I'll just go over there. So I feel like there isn't really a strong plan in place. And even if there was, there's no draft picks anyway. So, I mean, it is what it is, honestly.
I told you he was waiting. He was just quietly waiting to let it all out. That was pretty good, man. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I don't have a list for you guys because I was running around making sure I got this production all together. But here's the thing. For everybody watching, if you hadn't hit that like button, please do so right about now. And again, I'm going to have links for everybody that's on the show because I need you to go to their YouTube channels and subscribe to them as well. I got 2 questions that I'm going to pose to everybody. Just jump in, if you will, and say whatever you want. And then
I don't get to go.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I'm an elder statesman. I'm like elder statesman up here. I feel like
I thought you went, Tony. I'm gonna be honest.
I know. Good God.
You did not go. And
did not get to go.
You lose a turn because you talk during Shells. When Shells was talking, you lose your turn.
Boy, you were jumping up in there.
No, I didn't.
All right. My number. All right. So let's see if he goes. Let's see.
Let me try to be right. I got so many screens open over here. Franchise building process. Give me a second. And boom. So I'm sorry about that. Tony of the C3 podcast, please.
Yeah, man. You know what? All these things have the common thread to them, right? I mean, like we were talking about, either the failures of the draft, the lack of a plan, the failures of Sam Darnold, and really my two are going to kind of go hand in hand. Right now, I think this is that the one thing that's been on our podcast that we've been talking about a lot is since we got rid of Ron Rivera, and then went after Matt Rule, David Tepper has kind of taken this lead in selecting all of these people, and we think that he did the process backwards, right? And that I don't like the kind of concept of bringing in a head coach and then going and getting your GM to work with him. Then, look, you knew that when you fired Ron Rivera, you were ready to turn the page. You knew that Marty Herney's future was going to be limited with this team. So at that point, I feel like you go and you get a GM that you believe in, and then you two together court a coach that you believe in, and that GM and the coach are married together. And they live and die together, right? Because then, right now, if Matt Rule doesn't work out, we got to wait for for Fitterer. Like, is that we should have that plan in place, like Shelly's talking about. And I think Tepper has built this backwards, right? I think he held on to Marty Herney too long, and he should have just done all of this in one fatal swoop. If you continue on that franchise building process, you guys talked about the draft this year. You talked about some other things with the personnel problems. You talked about Sam Darnold. We've had a coaching staff that came in here with very limited experience in the NFL and made some very important decisions about the future of this franchise. And they've all been misses at the quarterback position, right? Whether or not we like Teddy Bridgewater or not, he's no longer with the team. So the Panthers come in, they cut Cam. Then they go and get Teddy Bridgewater on a deal that was 1 or 2 years too many, right? But still, then they weren't satisfied with him, so they missed on him. They had Will Grier experiment, whatever that was, missed on that. Then they went and got Sam Darnold and missed on that. This is backwards. And then the other thing and the last thing about that backwards building process is all of these issues that we've had continue to circle back to the offensive line. And there's been zero attention. So you talk about Terrence Marshall Jr., who had a couple of good preseason games and then is missing. Right. And that's fine. I mean, he had I never expect a rookie receiver to really contribute. Like, that's kind of over. But here's the thing. We just have not addressed the offensive line, and we're surprised. We're surprised that the offensive line isn't good. So this process is all kind of all of it's interconnected to, and I think it goes back to Tepper, right? I mean, the franchise building, the plan that he's put in place it's a non-planned plan, right? And then that goes to my next point, which is personnel failures. And we've mentioned them. Right, we've mentioned Sam Darnold, and let's just look at him as a good example, or some of the people that you courted in free agency this year, the guys that you missed on in the draft. These are all personnel failures that now make me, and then I listed off that the swings and misses at the quarterback, and they all make me concerned about the wisdom of this coaching staff picking our next move. So if we've missed on everything right now at the quarterback position, it's really hard for me to have confidence that all of a sudden after this Sam Darnold experiment goes as south as it's gone, that they have the wisdom to put us on track with those personnel decisions going forward. And that's how bad it is right now, is that now we are starting to question the wisdom of the direction of the people in power. And that is a difficult place to be in.
Yeah. Did you just drop the mic?
That's it. That's all I got. I thought that was a lot. I was like, Pat's over there falling asleep.
I went to sleep, man. Okay. I was resting my eyes.
All right. So we got through everybody's. Again, I'm not going to give one. I'm going to toss up one thing, and then we're going to go and fly through these comments. I like to try to touch on all my comments, as many as possible, because I got a feeling we could be on here for 2 hours, but I don't want to do that for everybody because I really respect everybody give me their time tonight. But I like to show love to all the comments that are coming. So, hey, whoever wants to jump out and take this, who would you like to see from a coaching perspective? Who would you guys like to see go? Give me one coach, one position.
One?
Well, I think everybody has to say Joe Brady at this point.
If only one, that's what you're saying. If only one
just give
can
me
go.
one.
Oh, if only
But
one.
that's not it.
Yeah, Joe Brady. I think
Brady
that's the most practical one. That's the one that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's the safest. You know what I mean? I don't think it'll cause any type of issues in the locker room or in the coaching staff. Like, to me, that's the safest one, Joe Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's firing the coach.
Well, see, here's the thing: is he would be the sacrificial lamb. If Joe Brady doesn't go, then Matt Rule will go as well. at the end. You know what I'm saying? Is like, if he don't look like he's trying to right this ship. We saw Ron Rivera do this at the end, right? Where Ron Rivera had to make those changes because it was a matter of survival. And this is quickly becoming, it's so bad. It's deteriorated so bad that it's becoming a matter of survival for Matt Rule. And I think Joe Brady's got to be the sacrificial lamb at the very least.
All right, give me one player. Whoever wants to give me one player that
one
must
player
go.
to go must go.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, no questions asked. No, that's an easy one. Sam Darnold.
I'm gonna say Sam, but give me some time. Because I might have somebody else. I might have somebody. I don't know. Like it seemed like everybody else like.
Bro, the offensive line.
No, man.
Number one, I like some guys on the offensive line, but Sam is my number one pick.
Oh, let me change it around a little bit then, if you guys will allow me to. Should we do anything with Christian McCaffrey?
Let me tell you this. Let me put it like this. If this show was a week and a half ago, I would have mentioned things about like the draft or the trade deadline, because there are guys who are very, very good on the squad who we definitely could have moved, and maybe there'd be fans out there who wouldn't like to see them go. But we need to get some picks, right? I mean, we're not going to rebuild or really find a way to make the team anywhere even near decent next year with the amount of picks we have. So I feel like if we would have tried to get off of one of these guys, I don't know about C-Mac. I mean, honestly, it would be really hard to get rid of him because of the injuries. I mean, the contract is ridiculous. And the reason, I think part of the reason why he got the extension was because the Panthers either cut or the biggest name players walked away, like TD or Greg Olsen. Like C-Mac was like the only actual semi-face of the franchise. So it was partially because they love C-Mac, and he puts in work, wasn't getting injured before, but also it felt like a PR move. Like, hold up, guys, don't sell those season tickets. If you got PSLs, get them again next year. Come to the stadium again next year, because I know everyone's gone, but we still got that one dude. We got 22 still here, and we just gave him the money, right? People say it's dumb to give running backs money, but we did it. We love our guys here, and it's like it felt like a PR move on top of trying to retain talent. But
hey, would it be great if C-Mac let us restructure his contract for some money to go shopping?
I would. If I was him, I wouldn't do it. The money is in the bank. You see that new house?
I don't think it helps that much. I don't think it will help that much because we haven't even really. It's the guaranteed money that's kind of the issue. And if you trade, at first here we missed the deadline. So the only thing, if we get rid of anybody at this point, it's just to make a point, right? and I would actually expect this is that you guys talked about the okie doke with the PJ Walker and stuff, yeah, which is funny. Like all of a sudden we're gonna trick Bill Belichick. Like he's gonna be shook that like he ain't seen Sam Darnold and Ruiz. Yeah, I mean, good God. But is that I would not be surprised if Sam Darnold's shoulder injury suddenly becomes to the IR, and whether or not it's really an injury, like all of a sudden, now his shoulder's hurt. Come on,
that's kind of a way to put him to the side.
It's like this is a way. All of a sudden, he's getting he forgot about Brian Burns' ankle and knee today in the press conference, but he was quick to say, "Dang, Sam Darnold getting an MRI," and that is to me, like this is going to be a way for them to bench him without us having to look at Sam Darnold on the sideline and almost to where we feel sorry for the guy, like so shell shocked and. Like he was like one of those tigers in Tiger King or something, just stuck in this little cage. God.
You see, I like that idea, but at the same time, we still lose because look, yes, we have Sam. Everyone hates Sam Darnold, right? We don't like Sam Darnold. Now it's PJ Walker on the field. I'm telling you right now, that guy is not good either. PJ Walker is not a good quarterback. Hasn't been a good quarterback.
Man, if we gonna lose. Make it interesting. That's why I want to see PJ. I know PJ is not good, but I'd rather watch him.
I watched him get beat out by.
He better than what this guy is. I tell you that. I promise you that.
Kelly beat him out for a roster spot on the Colts. We had to look. Andrew Luck had to tell his dad to let PJ Walker into the XFL onto the Roughnecks so he could shine in the XFL for half a season, then come to the NFL again and throw 2 picks against the Lions. who then fired their head coach. I don't know. I feel like PJ Walker was never really
Will Greer beat him too. Will Greer beat him in the preseason.
I mean,
Will Greer was better.
That's also like the offensive line too. Is like we don't even have the luxury to get rid of our offensive linemen. You know, is that like I wanted to say Dennis Daly. I want to say all this. I mean, I would have said Matt Paradis before the poor guy, but like he tore his. Now I feel bad for this even saying that. But the point is that like these guys are terrible. But like Shells is saying, is the guys behind them ain't no good either.
All right, so here we go. We're about to start running through these, and I want you guys to just pick up the comments, say a few. If I cut you off, I'm just trying to continue to go through the comments. You guys ready? C3, Pat, Shells, Lauren. All right, here we go. Can we please call Andre Cunningham? Can we please call Cam 911? Somebody comment on that quickly. Go.
It's not happening, man. Like, don't even call him, bro. Like, don't waste Cam time. You know what I'm saying? If you calling Cam, just call and apologize and hang up. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the banner, Pat? Did you see the banner picture that's floating around?
I saw that on Twitter yesterday.
What did it say?
Yeah, so they got a banner hanging in Bank of America that's celebrating the 2015 season. And TD's up there, Charles Johnson's up there, Greg Olson, and right where Cam was, they just put it off to the side.
No,
like he's not. Yeah, like he doesn't exist. He does not exist. He's the man. He's the Voldemort of.
We deserve everything that's happening. I'm sorry to say on Charlotte Vibe, everything that's happened to us, man, we deserve it, man.
I say one thing, Chris. I know you're trying to do a lightning round here, but let me just say one thing because I said this in 2019. I said at the time I was the one person saying we have to get rid of Cam, and I said this for the only one reason. I said, if you want Cam to stay on the Panthers, you are a selfish fan who does not want the best for Cam Newton, because this team has never, will never actually seriously invest in what it takes to get Cam what he actually needs to succeed, mainly in O-line, and we have not done that in the 3 years since I said that. And it feels really bad, but we've proven time and time again that we can't build a team that can support a quarterback. I mean, we can have Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes will look pedestrian here. So, I mean, whether or not we have Cam, we have.
Imagine bringing Cam back and ruining his foot. You already ruined his football career before. Now you're going to ruin his career after football if you brought him back.
Yeah, I don't know. Boy got the vaccine for no reason because no one's picking him up.
Ali Bobby, what's up?
He thought it was gonna work.
Kid Sullivan, what's up? Popping bullets. Isaac Irving, what's up, Chris? Matt be moonwalking those comments. Says C. Hey, you guys know I got to talk about my experience today in the press conference. I'm not going to say anything about Matt Rule today. He's my man on the press conference call today. They was about to end it, but your boy hadn't had a question yet. He said, hey, whoa, Chris has a question. So Matt,
I saw that, man. I'm
going to let everybody else talk today. But I feel good now. I feel like me and Matt have connected. But you guys, go at it. Go at it.
He's proud of that. He still don't like you, though, but go ahead.
Let's see. Ruiz was doing good. Yeah, punter looking good. Do you think Matt can turn this offense around? Brad Holt, anybody want to take that?
No.
I don't think there is a viable pathway to success at this point, right? And like Pat said, maybe PJ just makes it a little exciting. Maybe that's the only, but right now is that I don't even know if there is a path where Joe Brady could be the coordinator next year. Like, I just don't even see a reality that what it would take, I think, is just too much to ask with the personnel that we have. And I don't know how you're going to do it.
So you guys tell me we're doomed for at least a couple of years? Because if you fired Brady, you still got the quarterbacks. And it sounds like we can't do anything with the quarterback.
We don't have anything in the draft. So.
Is there anything that, like, something just has to fall into our laps?
Yeah.
Got to burn it down.
Out of our lap. Like, I think this is a terrible situation we in, man. Mm-hmm. And like Matt's whole thing was that he turned around programs. And like I said, I don't follow college like that. But when you go look at the programs he turned around, ain't like he made them national champions or nothing like that. Like, we know his ceiling. And it's obvious right now in his actions that he's He's not. It's going to take him a while. You know, I preach on this is growing pains for Matt Rule in the NFL, man. I think he has a long way to go. He might make it after this 7-year contract. You know what I mean? He might be ready then, but I just don't see it no time soon. And I'll be honest, as a Panther fan, I'm tired of waiting. I don't want to wait with him to, you know, understand the game. So I just don't see it.
So Pat, did you just say you feel like Matt Rule might be around for a couple years?
More? No, I'm just saying I feel like that's how long it's going to take him to actually understand the game and really be a good head coach at this level. I don't see him being around for more than 3 years, man. If he continues like this, more than 3 years, definitely not, man. If he's gone at the end of this year, I'll be surprised, but definitely the year after.
It's getting less surprising. It's like if it would happen before this season, Pat, we would have all been floored, right? Is that if you said he's going to be fired at the end of this year, but the way it's going right now, I mean, I wouldn't even be that entirely shocked. I think he could get another year. I think he made a key mistake, and that is you saw what Sean McVay did with the Rams. Is that Sean McVay brought in like old hat NFL guys. He had Wade Phillips, things like that. And I know that Phil Snow is probably the best coach on our staff. But right now, I mean, there's even been times where you're starting to question some of that a little bit. But hey, like he's the one guy we're not really going to mess with. But the special teams have been a mess, right? All of this has been a mess. And from the coaching perspective, and Matt Rule, there's not enough experience. Or that's what we're starting to think, right? Joe Brady never had play calling responsibilities anywhere he had been at before. He had been this passing coordinator, whatever that means, right? Is that it's just a lack of, and it's kind of a gamble. It's like when you bring all the young kids in to run the business, and yeah, there's a lot of youthful optimism going on, but it hasn't worked out, and you got to wonder, like what Pat said, what happens? We fire Joe Brady, then he goes and gets what is he going to go get, like Norv Turner? Yeah,
you don't like Norv?
Yeah. Those are good.
I love Norv Turner. Actually, I like Norv Turner. 2017 offense, man, with very little. Cam with a limited shoulder, he was getting things done.
No, he wasn't bad at all. I think the problem with Norv Turner was that when we had Kyle Allen, he went straight back into having a very conventional, very bland offense. He never actually trusted Kyle Allen to even attempt to do any of the pre-snap motion, any of the extra reads that he had Cam doing earlier on in the front half of 2017. So I thought Norv was good, but he just never even tried to let Kyle Allen. I guess in practice they saw Kyle couldn't do those things, but the offense changed like a snap of a finger. It was way different. It wasn't a Norv Turner offense, I feel like. But to get to that question we asked a second ago, I know we're trying to lightning round this, but kind of talk
Thanks
about
for helping me mention the lightning round. I'm gonna push you guys along here in a second, but go ahead.
All right. So talking about, we asked like what coach should be gone. I think the real question should be how could we change something about a coach? And I think that if Matt Rule's ability to do all the picking, do all the acquisitions in free agency, because I read he's the one who has final say on players, acquisitions, all that stuff. Take that power away from him, just make him a coach, and bring in an actual GM or bring in an actual decision maker that doesn't have to answer to him. I mean, he has power. He's here for 7 years, according to his contract. So he has a lot of power here, a lot of say. But if you take those decisions away from him and make him focus only on coaching, there's a chance that there's someone with experience or a plan or potentially even a brain can make
Scott Fitterer, not that guy.
I'm not sure how much he's doing. I mean, I read that Matt Rule has final say, so I don't know exactly how much Scott Fitterer is doing in terms of looking at players and whatnot. Also, we're basing a lot of what Scott Fitterer does based off volume this year, and also what he did 8-9 years ago for the Seahawks. They didn't have a good draft for a good long time in recent history. But yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, lightning round is going to begin effective now. So, hey, I'm going to be running through these things, and you guys, I'm just going to say at this point, just one person tackle the comment, and it will keep moving. If we go a little over past 8, that's fine. But, everybody knows I got that baby that's over and crying.
Chris got things to do.
Let me go back up to the top, and here we go. Welcome, lovely Lauren. Hi, Lauren. The vibes are high.
Hello.
Oh, they heavy on Lauren, boy.
Yeah, King David says LOL. She says, let's go, Pat. Don't hold back. Baby Bubba from Jay Lang. Popping Bullet. Lauren is beautiful. Some King David, Baby Bubba. More love for Pat. Pat, I guess this is your channel.
You know how I do, man. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, C3 from Rockhead? Hey, Pat, who's Lauren? I don't know where they're asking you, but Pat, they want to know who Lauren is.
I don't know. I just met Lauren. I don't know.
What's up, Coletrain? I'm sorry, Shellitronnn from Joy Long. I guess it is. Oh. My boy Shell's there too. Oh, Shelly in the house. So Shell's getting all the love now.
How we got no questions? I want to know. I got a question. What was on the hot mic? What was on the hot mic?
That's what I want to know. To get to the questions, it's shout outs. I didn't get a chance to do this at the beginning.
And what did Pat drive up in the car to your place in? That's the other thing I got. Those are my two.
You're asking too many questions, Chris.
He won't let me reveal it, but let me just tell you, it's fuel efficient.
Yeah.
You can plug it in. You can plug it in and go.
A Prius. Yeah, I got I got no Prius, man.
Let's see some more Baby Bubbas. Have you hit him up with a Baby Bubba?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. What's up with you, Baby Bubba? I said, Baby Bubba. What's up with you? There you go.
Tony Dunn in the building. Not like Pat. Not like, okay, I don't know if this is Chris. Why didn't he ask Rule? Why didn't he start PJ?
Chris be scared to ask them kind of questions. Let's just be honest. That's why Matt love him now. He loves Chris. Hey, Chris, you got a question? Go ahead and ask your question, because you ain't gonna ask nothing serious. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't think to ask him that. I was trying to today set him up with telling me the differences between the two quarterbacks, because I want to later on prove the fact that he's stuck. I want him to say, like, I have nothing in Sam because I'm afraid that he's going to turn the ball over. I have nothing in PJ because he's still going to turn the ball over. So I was trying to creatively work it by asking him one question about each.
You did good, man.
Might not work, but that was my efforts. Let's see. Let Pat. No, somebody says Pat's being shy. Can Sullivan give Lauren some props? Please get rid of Sam and probably not Matt. Taima says, hey, Lauren.
Hi, Taima.
All right, so now it's the Lauren show, but we're going to keep running through these comments here. Whatever Lauren says, I agree. Lauren is my YouTube crush. All right, so Lauren, they like you. I guess, again, she's with Charlotte Vibe in case people want to check her out. But guess what? She has the brains to match the beauty. That's the only reason why she's here.
Yeah, she the only one that bought stats. I was like, I don't know. I didn't even know Sam Darnold stat.
She did bust out some stats. Let's see. She don't hold back, does she? I know. All right, so we got a bunch of. I'm gonna kind of have to skip through these, unfortunately, because I want to get through some questions. And she's the co-host. All right, trying to run through these comments real quick. Exactly. Why do we not wait and see till this point at least? I don't know what the question is. I got a question. All right, I'm just going to show this one. Here you go. Anybody take that one?
Elizabeth, let's see.
I got a question. What is our front office smart or good at? Because it's not money management.
Being at the right place at the right time, getting a job.
Building a secondary. That's about it. Picking cornerbacks. I don't know, man.
I'm picking all defense. I mean, they did have a good the all defense draft. That kind of rejuvenated things last year too a little bit. It's like it was a little jump start, but that was last year though, and it wasn't Scott Fitterer.
People are debating Derek Brown and Isaiah Simmons still, man. I'll be honest, they still debating that.
I like Derek
Brown. It was fun. It was a fun draft. Oh yeah, Jeremy Chin. Yeah, it was good. It was good, but
All right, here go one. We should play more 4 wide receivers, shotgun.
We'll still lose.
No, that wouldn't even make sense. No, it wouldn't even make sense. Sam Darnold wouldn't know what to do with 4 wide receivers out there, man.
That's facts.
I don't like that.
And to be fair, I want to say this is not and this is bad when you got to say it's not a defense of Sam Darnold. Like you got to be cautious about how.
And defend Sam Darnold.
No, it's just that even Steve Smith on WFNZ today said, man, the dude's under duress a lot. Now, I think you got to survive with whatever circumstances you have, right? Matt Rule's got to survive with whatever circumstances he had when he came into this situation. Sam Darnold's got to survive under whatever circumstances he had. But I mean, they were in the backfield in no time. Now, he didn't handle it well by any means. But they were all over. I mean, play action pass, they didn't, no biting on it. They were all over. They were just walking right back. And there'll be like 2 or 3 free rushers. Like, I don't even know what they were doing.
Yeah.
Here's another one. The play calling was better last season.
Yeah.
Fair. I mean, it's
hard to say. It worked better. You know what I'm saying? You got
definitely worked better.
1,000-yard. You got 3 1,000-yard receivers. Like, it worked better, and that could, maybe Teddy did a better job at handling it or whatever, but it definitely worked better. Not sure if it was better because I remember last year I kind of complained a little bit about Joe Brady calls too.
We got numbers, just like on the defense. Yeah, we got numbers and I guess highlight plays, but it didn't really lead to actually doing anything.
Right.
Like I feel like it made us feel good, but we didn't actually get wins. So
yeah,
whatever. I guess if it works, I don't know.
It felt a lot better than this though.
Today, Rule talked about Pat Eflin being a center.
Rule says a lot of things.
Yeah, he lied about a lot of stuff. No, I'm just joking.
I'm not joking. Hey, I'm saying I'm not an accredited.
I ain't gonna make him lose his credentials.
You don't gotta say it, Chris. Well, I'll say it on Twitter later. I don't
hey, let me tell you guys.
Hey, Shells,
don't edit yourself because you're on my show, man. If
Pat Elfine's garbage. He's garbage. Cam Irvin's garbage. Every single player on the old line outside of Timo is garbage. He's been pretty weird at some points too.
Right.
At least, but hey, look, I gotta show love to at least one of them. Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't seen a good offensive lineman in a very long time, and I do mean a very long time. But I mean, there's not much to say. He's gonna play center. Okay, what's that gonna do? I mean, what? How do I interpret that? Am I happy about that? Am I about to be sad about it? I'm already sad about our center situation.
Right.
I can't get more sad. I don't know. I mean. It's just news to look at and say, okay, well, right. Matt, what else you got to say to me, Matt? What is there any good news, Matt? Can you share some good news with me, please? That don't sound like good news.
Well,
is there something?
That's where he did, when we brought Eflin
coming up soon.
Yeah. When we brought in Eflin, though, that was what they kind of pitched and that's the same thing with Cam Irvin is that these are positionless players, and it turns out they really are positionless.
They need to be jobless players.
Like they have a position they can play. They can try to play every position, but they can't play any of them. So I don't know. I mean, can it really? Paradis is. I don't even think he was that good for the first few games. Maybe I've heard people say he was better the last couple weeks, but I just remember him getting run over that one time. You remember we got just trucked. That's all I can remember.
As soon as he went out, that's all you hearing now. Like Matt Paradis, he was so good. You know what I'm saying? Like he just on IR, man. We ain't got to lie. He be back. But you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, he was doing so good too. We gonna miss you. And I'm like,
what?
I don't know, man.
I don't know about that.
I don't know what they saw, but shout out to him. I hope he come back healthy. But
yeah, definitely.
I hope he gets healthy. I don't know if I hope he comes back. I hope he gets healthy. I hope he gets
healthy, man. Go take
Brandon
care of your family.
Gee, got a question. Any chance we look to pick up a veteran quarterback like Phillip Rivers to help Sammy out?
I don't
that
think
would make
so.
sense.
No, I don't think
they don't do what makes sense. So I don't think it's gonna happen.
No.
They don't. And what's sad is they probably won't because they look at Sam as the veteran. That's the sad part about it. That's why they won't. They look at Sam as the veteran, man. You got to bring in a veteran. That's crazy. You got to bring in Phillip Rivers to help this dude. Like that only makes sense to me. Like he a rookie. We put rookie gloves on him all season, all preseason, all off season. We've been treating him like he's a rookie, and he playing like it.
Yeah, I can keep on talking. I'm trying to go through these comments and put some more questions up.
I'm looking too.
I think it's interesting that the coaching staff has. You got to call into question a little bit them when it comes to like how quick they are to abandon the guys that are their guys, right? I mean, so they brought in Teddy Bridgewater and they turned their back. It was like as soon as Teddy came out and said that we don't practice enough or whatever he said in that one press where he almost got DJ hurt, and then it was all of a sudden like he's like Matt, we're out of here. And then, I mean, now they went and got Sam Darnold, and people are like, is he your starting quarterback? And he's like, I got to go back and look at the tape. I don't know what you got to look at. Like, what do you mean? I mean, like, we all were, yeah, you were there. I know, like, what are you going to go back and look at? Like, all of a sudden, you're going to discover that he can do something different. I don't know. It's crazy. And then, but then he has, it's like that's passive aggressive. Like, oh yeah, like we got his back, and then until we don't.
Mm-hmm.
That's the NFL, though.
Yeah,
they'll turn on you.
100% is.
I got one for you guys. Trying to get through these comments.
Have to tank.
Caroline Jeff says, "What about tanking, guys?
Yeah, we probably don't have no choice, man.
Tanking is a choice. Like, you don't have to. This team doesn't need to tank to lose games. Also, we're never going to be worse than the Jags. We're never going to be worse than the Dolphins. So we're not going to tanking this year. Doesn't matter. We have too many.
We only got one pick.
But yeah.
And last year was the year to do it. Last year was the year to do it. We were what? Where we have an 8 pick. If we would have just not won that Washington game.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, if we didn't win that Saints game, I mean, look, there's a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of winning culture, hashtag winning culture things that we've done at week 17 to, I don't know, get quality bad wins at the end of the year, like it's college football. But honestly, what would a quarterback do for this team? Like you understand that our O-line is bad, but most of those guys are gone next year. So we have to either find a way to get more O-linemen, and then on top of that, you bring in a quarterback. So what's a quarterback going to do? What's a? But
now we got to do all those things, Shells. Now we got to do all those things. Really, in retrospect, we could have, and I know you could have, would have, should have, but we were sitting there at the top. Justin Fields was there, or you could have taken Rashawn Slater, and you could have kept Teddy Bridgewater, picked Justin Fields, and sat Justin Fields for an entire year under Teddy Bridgewater's tutelage or whatever. If Teddy died on this line, then you could put Justin Fields out there. Or you could have not done that. You could have gotten a left tackle, then tried to find a quarterback later. Now we still got to do all those things, though. Now we got to find the quarterback and the offensive line. So you're right. It wouldn't help you right now, but we're back. We're like further on the timeline. That's where like backwards. It felt like we were going. We took one step forward, like my co-host said. It felt like we took one step forward last year and then 3 steps back.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. But, I mean, you can't get the quarterback now. And, I mean, the guys making decisions, I'm guessing it's Matt Rule. I mean, when you see a dude see that there's no O-line in place and you go corner, receiver.
Oh, my God.
And then you go for a guy who, for some reason or other, Pro Football Focus called him the greatest left tackle of all time. It's in the whole galaxy, the whole universe. Brady Christensen. Then there's analysts, and then there's scouts saying, maybe this guy isn't actually a left tackle. We draft him anyway. And then we say, you know what? He might be a right tackle, a guy who we just signed to a franchise tag and then an extension. Or maybe he's a right guard with John Miller, who I thought was actually decent. I was lied to. But now Brady Christensen is on the roster, and he can start at left tackle, but that's because there's a whole lot worse options there, not because he's actually a good left tackle. So I think you got to take away any kind of power to get personnel from Matt Rule, and then maybe the process of healing this front office, which in turn will heal the team, hopefully, can start. But as long as we're making these very strange and peculiar decisions up front, it doesn't really matter. You got to find someone who can make decisions and do it right. And taking isn't the way to do it.
Hey, I got to take over as we go get ready to wrap up. So I have learned a few things. One is I'm already going to tell everybody that's watching, that's participating, I want you guys to come back. So I had visions of doing this show at the beginning of the season, the middle of the season, and at the end of the season. Obviously, we missed the beginning. So I'm inviting everybody to come back at the end of the season and do like a big recap. I can tell that an hour is probably not enough. So I'll check with everybody offline and see if we can do an hour and a half, maybe even 2. I don't know. That might be hard on everybody. But I'm going to answer one question. and then I'm going to let everybody end it however they want, saying whatever they want in no particular order. All right. Hopefully that's fair enough. And I learned that I can't do comments when I have so many guests. So I appreciate everybody that has their comments going. But if anybody's other than my co-hosts that are watching, if you guys have picked up a comment that you want to comment on before we get out of here, please do. So a question that I was asked was, what is the locker room like at this point now? I will say it's COVID, and I have hated for the past 2 years not being able to go into the locker room because you lose such a good dynamic of being able to talk to some players and get another vibe for what may really be going on. But from my as close as I can get to the locker room position, I feel like the defense is trying not to really focus on the offense and just focus on what Snow wants them to do, and they've been accepting the challenge of who cares how good or bad the offense is. We got a good group of defensive players, so our job, and we like that pressure, is to make sure that if they score 3 points, then that's enough to win the game. We shut the team out. That's kind of how I feel there on the defensive part. Offensively, I feel like the wide receivers are getting frustrated. And they're pros, so they're taking it as good as they can take it. But none of these guys are paid millions of dollars to go out there and watch their quarterback throw 3 interceptions and just go skip to Malou. But I don't think anything's boiling over where it's just unusually bad about a quarterback that's not performing good. I don't think anybody's ready to meet Sam in the parking lot and tell him a thing or two. That's just the way I feel. But now I'm going to go back to Pat. You're the first one up because of how you are on the screen. So, Pat, go ahead. Take whatever time you want. I say 3-4 minutes, and anything you want to say in closing.
Well, let me just say this. I know it's a lot of, bad stuff I'm saying about my team, especially on my channel. I probably said a lot of bad stuff tonight. I don't remember what I said, but I'm still a Panther fan, you know what I'm saying? Still Panther Nation all day. And I think this is just a rough stage we're going to go through. I'm not sure how we get up out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm really confused at what direction we're going in. That's why it's kind of hard for me to answer if we're going to fire this coach, if we're going to fire it, because we just kind of set back like y'all just kind of went through. We are set back maybe 2 or 3 years, man. I just don't know how you fix something like this with no picks. You ain't got no money. You don't have the personnel. So it's just kind of scary, but I'm here for it, man.
Hey, I will say this. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to take advantage of my host privileges. You guys are not making me look forward to covering this team for the rest of the year. Man. Please send me and Lauren your creative stories that you guys will find entertaining to watch as I have to cover this team for the remaining 7 weeks.
You got this.
But continue, Pat.
You got this, man. Okay. This is a fun team, and now Matt Rule like you because you be lying to him. But anyway, but yeah, like I said, it's Panther Nation all day. Panther fans, man, you can follow me on YouTube, of course, Pat Coletrain. You can follow me on Twitter at Pat Coletrain and Facebook.com/Pat Coletrain, man.
Anything we didn't talk about that you want to say, man? And you
man, I feel like I got it all out, man. I've been talking Panther football for the past 3-4 days. I've been going live, been doing long lives. I don't even do 2-hour lives, and I've been doing that. And I feel like, and I think somebody said it ain't fixing it, just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It feels more like a therapy session now. That's where we at. This is therapy. So I feel like I done pretty much got it all out. I feel like we touched on pretty much everything, man. And I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Hey, Pat, appreciate you having coming on again. There are going to be links in the description. They're not there this second if you're watching live, but if you give me about 5 minutes, I'm going to have everybody's links for their channel, so you can just click on it. Please support everybody that's been here. A lot of these guys are here because they work really hard, really intelligent people, and that's why I have them on as guests, and I want you to support them. One question that jumped out at me that I do want to answer is about David Tepper and addressing the media. So I dreamed of talking to David Tepper during the season, but he is not available to us. I will try to and ask the team tomorrow if he's going to be available before the end of the year. I'll let you know. But I can say traditionally the owners do make themselves available to the media at the end of the year. And it's a pretty cool thing to be able to talk to a billionaire while he wears his $20 shoes. But nevertheless, let me bring up my man, Tony from the C3 podcast. Tony, what you got?
First, I'd like to thank all y'all for having me on. I watch everybody's content, and I ask all y'all to just support creators, right? Smash the thumbs up button, follow. It's all free, right, to do all that. Pat, my words to you are I hate to hear you getting tired of talking about it already, because there's a lot more we got to do. We don't want this. We got to stay angry, because apathy is worse than anger at this stage. And Chris, the good news is these really, really bad, like dismal performances actually get people watching more. And the worst that you go 7-9 or whatever it is, or whatever we go is at 7-10, people be like, they'd be happy and just cutting their grass then. All right, so my one thing is this. I got one thing to say, because we talk about this ad nauseum. Our show goes on for crazy times. It's on Tuesday night. Tomorrow night, we got Ed Smith Speaks tomorrow. Ed Smith, former tight end for the Cardinals, he's going to join us and he's in radio in Arizona, so he's going to help us preview this bloodbath that is about to come. It seems like maybe Kyler Murray doesn't play, but I just want to say, ice up, son. To all New England Patriot fans, every single New England Patriot fan, because they're the only bizarre people in the world that look at Mac Jones and say he didn't twist and whatever, and like do more. They act like he just tried to trip my man. And I'm going to tell you this, is that all that play reminded me of was that dude. Do you guys remember that guy that played basketball for Duke, Grayson Allen? Who would have like a temper tantrum anytime he like lost a basketball and then just tripped somebody. I felt like Mac Jones got smashed and then got mad that he got smashed and fumbled it, and then held onto that leg and the twist. But then people are coming on my channel saying that was not even. They said that wasn't even an illegal play, let alone a dirty play. So I got to say, ice up to all New England Patriot fans who look through their cheating goggles, their cheating historical goggles, where they didn't, I guess it won't illegal to film us practicing before the Super Bowl. I guess it won't illegal for Tom Brady to deflate the football. I guess it won't illegal for you to tackle someone who don't have the football. So sorry.
Speak on it.
I honestly can't believe people are saying that wasn't dirty and that he didn't twist his ankle. It is plain as day. You can see every angle. You can look at it from every which angle and see that he clearly twisted his ankle. And I know Mac today said that he thought he had the ball. And I'm like, you knew he didn't have the ball. You were just angry. Like that's literally all it was. He was so mad. And he purposely twisted his ankle. I don't care what anybody says. You can come at me if you want. He twisted his ankle. It was a dirty play and it was uncalled for. Mic drop.
Everyone, Pat, Shell's comments on that particular?
Not only did he twist his ankle, he actually tripped him too with the other leg. He came around with the other leg and hit the other leg and knocked him down. And Brian Burns was hurt, man. And I'm be honest. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna regret this, and Lord forgive me. They should have put a bounty. You know what I'm saying? Hassan said he saw it. You should have gave him a late hit. And what should have happened is on the next throw, after he passed the ball, you should have hit him and said, "Oh, I thought you still had the ball. That's why I hit him so hard." You know what I'm saying? That's what should have happened. You know, that's how I felt. I ain't been talking a whole lot about it because, you know, we got a lot of big problems. I don't know how anybody could look at that and think that wasn't a illegal hit, man. I guess they say if he didn't get caught, it wasn't illegal because he didn't get caught. But still, it's a bad look.
Shells, I know you went. I guess phones have like a light mode and a dark mode. You switch yours to the cool dark mode on us. But I'm assuming you're still awake.
Yeah, this is a metaphor for this Panthers season right now. I'm doing performance art. But I mean, all that reminded me of was the Cowboys game last year when Andy Dalton got knocked out and no one did anything to help him up or anything. And it's like, bro, if you saw what Mac Jones, you saw what he did, right? Like Pat said, I mean, maybe you don't put a bounty on him, but you gotta give him a little love tap at one point. See what's up with him at the bottom of a pile or something like that. I don't know. There's ways to get back, because that's your man's right there. You got him on the ground, twist him, hit him with the bop it, twist it, all that stuff, man. I like what he did there. Mac Jones, Bama quarterback, he won't be nothing for real. They should have kept Cam. Cam should have got that shot, but it is what it is, man. Is this my closing argument time?
Not yet. I just wanted to get some
okay,
comments on Tony's comment there about the hit.
All right, okay. I'm gonna cool out.
And Tony, I don't know if you had anything else, but let me do my official media person job here and bore you guys potentially with. So one of the things that happens, right, is at the game, we have one reporter that's called a pool reporter that has access to the league to talk to officials in certain matters where we need to. That happened last night, where one of the reporters asked the referees about the call or lack of on that Brian Burns hit. So I will bore you guys and briefly share this with you. And let me tell you, I think I know one referee was, but like these refs have other jobs, like someone like smart. They're really smart people and like lawyers or something. So when I read you this, you're gonna think like you're hearing a lawyer talk. But here it is. So the question was about the sack. So I'll skip you on that. So Blakeman here says it's a subjective call, a judgment call. I'm not saying we saw it or didn't see it, but this is something we can't discuss. Relative to subjective calls like that, what rises to the level of a hold or is not a hold, this is something the league office will deal with in the evaluation of our game. So that says absolutely, utterly nothing. But, we asked further. So the reporter said a player cannot hold onto a player's leg, preventing him from pursuing the play, can he? And the referee responds with, the rule is holding on any play and throughout the entire game. You have about 170 plays
you sound like a lawyer.
And there's an opportunity for holds on every play. So that would apply on punt plays, on kick plays, doing regular scrimmage plays. As a group of officials, we're assessing every play and point of attack situations, whether it's a hold or not. Sometimes that are grabs, but they don't rise to the level of a hold. That's, again, where the league office comes into play relative to assessing games and our performance.
Yeah, you sound like a lawyer. I don't like that, bro. I ain't
I
feeling
just
that.
say that they suspended Ndamukong Suh for a game for stomping on Aaron Rodgers' knee, right? I mean, and I don't know if what the NFL should just want to get things right. And you might not be able to get it right in the moment, but you should want to get things right. And it's just a shame that if this was the other way, imagine if Cam Newton would have done this to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he
imagine that.
Cooked.
Imagine that. He would have been he would have been worse than not getting his vaccine.
The
NFL should just come out and say this, is they should at least fine him or something.
Absolutely.
But it's the Patriots. They ain't gonna do nothing. We know Mac Jones was the golden boy already. They ain't gonna do nothing. Everybody tells us how smart and great and awesome he is. He throws 50% completions and gets deep. Hey, I'm mad.
All right, you can be mad. And
I do think Frankie Louvu stuck up for it a little bit. He took it out on that dang kick returner. The next play, he just blasted that guy. Go back and watch the kickoff right after. Frankie Louvu came in like a missile. Might have been a little, yeah, but it just was not Mac Jones, sadly. I felt like somebody needed to run down the sideline and push him.
Jesus.
Hey, Shells, you're up.
What's up? Okay, I know I sounded a little negative today. I know I sounded a little nihilistic today. I know I sounded like things was in a dark, dark place. I'm in a dark, dark place. This team is testing my patience. But I don't want to speak on that. I think we all understand that there are brighter days ahead. I think that this team can get things turned around. Don't ask me what it's going to take. Don't ask me when, but I do believe that at some point in the future that this Panthers team will be over 500. And
that was almost like what I just read, what you just said.
Oh, hey, look, I can't make no promises.
At some point in the future, we will be above 500.
Look, and you can't call me a liar. You can't call me a liar. It'll happen, whether it's the first game of 3 seasons from now or I don't know. But I want to talk about not about the games, I know people have been asking me a lot, like why I've been missing from YouTube over the past couple, maybe few weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks. Going through a slight career change right now, and I have a really good opportunity to get this really good job. So I'm not giving up on Panthers content. I'm always watching the games, always looking, always taking notes, but I have not been making the content. I will be getting back to that. That interview is very, very soon. So once I am locked in on that, I've been putting in a lot of work to get that shit done. I don't know if I can cuss. I'm sorry, brother. But to get that done, once that's completed, I will be back 100%, and we'll be talking about what's going on here. I can't promise it'll be all positivity. I can't promise that it's going to be all, respectful, but it will be 100% how I feel about things. And y'all know I don't mince words. Y'all know I'll tell you exactly how I feel about every situation. And just know that, I still love Panther Nation. I still love all y'all who support everyone out here. Don't just support me, support everyone who's here right now, support everyone who's not here right now. Y'all know who I'm talking about in the community over here. And even if the Panthers are not a very good team, even if the Panthers are, even very good, not very good is a very nice way of putting it. The Hornets going crazy. Y'all seen Melo go crazy. Have y'all seen Ish Smith? Have y'all seen Kelly Oubre going crazy lately? Even Gordon Hayward. I don't know, man. The Hornets have actually been looking real good. So there's something going on in the city. Now tonight, I think the game just started actually. Tonight might be a tough one, but there's some positivity in the city as we speak. So if you don't like Sam Darnold, then you can still watch Melo. Come on back to the Panthers when we do start going over 500, whenever that is going to happen. It'll happen sometime in the future, but there is always something for us. And I think our loyalty, sticking by their side, is going to pay off. Don't ask me when, don't ask me how. It'll pay off though.
Hey, Shields, I appreciate you sharing that information, and definitely want to say, I think the world of YouTube and the people who do the Panthers, it is like this community. So I want to say, definitely take care of that career first, man. That is what takes care of everything at home. And the reason why people ask for those likes, and it's free or hit a subscription, is it is extremely time intensive and expensive, costly for everything that you see from these YouTubers. I know we're not complaining about it, but just, those little things help us.
Give Chris the likes. Give Chris the likes now. Put them in the bag.
Get them likes up. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button for y'all leave.
If that thumb ain't blue, what you gonna do? Come on now. Give me the like. Give my likes. Continue, Chris. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're good. So I don't know what I was saying, but I know that this show, I don't know if you guys have been watching and looking in the comments as much as I have. I'm trying to get my controls right and get myself back on the screen.
Some of the comments have
good.
Me cracking
Chris gone. Good. Oh shoot.
Come back.
Oh
You're
Lord,
back.
Man. Somebody get.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody get some help, man.
Hey,
all right, so I'm gonna just do this.
You want to be Shellitronnn so bad. No,
this is how I get back. So somehow or another, Lauren has taken over the comments, and it's every other comment is Lauren. So guess what, Lauren? It is now your turn to have the microphone. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Let people know that you work with me, actually, but
yes,
you're still a guest. I appreciate you.
Of course.
And hold on, let me get it right. I
was gonna feel like everyone already said everything that needs to be said. So I feel like going last always is hard to talk because everyone's heard how I'm feeling. But no, I appreciate you having me on. I love working with you every weekend. As far as how bad this season has gone, everyone knows how that is. So I'm definitely discouraged and upset and frustrated and angry, just like all of you are. However, I think we do need to remain strong and stand behind our Panthers, because at the end of the day, we're always going to be Panthers fans, and there's no changing that. So as much as everyone's frustrated and upset, I just want to say, please hang in there. Please keep cheering on these guys. As painful as it is to watch sometimes, they need our support. But yeah, I feel like I touched on the things that I really wanted to talk about. As for my frustrations on Sam Darnold and our O-line, and I don't want to talk any more negative stuff, because I do have a lot more to say about that. But yeah,
you can say negative stuff.
No, I'm done. I've said enough negative stuff, and I don't want to say all negative stuff, because I do love the Panthers, and that's never going to change regardless of our record, and I know that's not great right now, but fingers crossed that things can change around a little bit this season. I know that's not very promising given our offensive line and our quarterback situation right now. But yeah, guess just my advice to everybody is to hang in there and keep supporting our team, because I agree. I can't remember who said it. I don't know if it was Pat or Shells, but I feel like someone said it that eventually in the next few. Okay, you said it. you said it. I don't know what, but down the line in a few years, we will have a good team. We just gotta
Shell said
be patient. Shell said that. Okay,
I didn't say all that. I said we'll be able to football.
Hey, so I'm gonna do this.
You inside, you felt it. You may not have voiced it that way, but I feel like all of us know, like, there is potential here. We do have some weapons on this team. It's just now of like the chemistry. And I know someone also mentioned that. I feel like chemistry is a big issue this season. I don't feel like a lot of these guys are meshing well together. So yeah, I have so many things that I want to say, but like I said, I don't want to be negative. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. It was great talking with all of you tonight, and I'm sorry that these comments are blowing up. I literally was running through them, and I'm like,
man,
y'all,
I'm crying. I'm about to cry over here,
bro. Hyping me up like this, like really.
I'm about to cry.
But I appreciate you all for hyping me up. You're nice. You're really nice. But I don't need all those compliments. I'm not that. I'm not everything they're saying that I am. That's so nice.
Lauren does a pregame show. We do a pregame show live at 11:30 on Sundays. She mans Twitter all day on game days, and then she does the post-game show. But here's what we're going to do, because I can tell people feel like we're being too negative here. So we're going to spin it.
Let's talk positivity.
Ending on
That's
a
why
positive.
I didn't want to end it. Yes.
I love DJ Moore. I think this guy, he's quiet, so he doesn't get talked about as much as he should. But that guy is extremely tough. He's a stud. And he goes over the middle. He gets yards after the catch. When he got hit in the ribs yesterday, I'm like sitting like this with the binoculars staring at him. And he's like wincing terribly. He's holding like this, but he goes back in there and he has like completely a fearless attitude. I love DJ Moore. I wish we had another DJ Moore. Even though I say Robbie Anderson is also tough, even though he has been dropping the ball and everything. But that's my positive. I have another one, but I'll let somebody else say a positive, whether it's yesterday or early in the season. Go. Whoever wants to go.
Get somebody go ahead, because I'm dying at these comments right now.
Don't look at the comments. I can't even look at his junk.
What are the comments?
I was trying to find questions, but I just keep.
You're not gonna find questions at this point.
Ain't no questions in here, man. Ain't no Panther talk. That's why you can't find no questions, man. Ain't no Panther talk, man.
Oh man.
Shells, give me a positive from the season.
Okay, go ahead.
You know what, Chris?
Time to flip the light on, Shells. Time to flip the light on. It's positive talk.
Lauren, you can talk about Zane Gonzalez.
Believe me, that's who I'm going to talk about. Just wait. That's who I'm going to talk about.
That would be insane.
Oh, Shells are turning the lights on, so I'll go talk. I'll talk real quick. Not the only person I'm most impressed with, Zane Gonzalez, the man himself. We have struggled so long with the kicker. So hard. Or so long, it's been so hard to watch. Joey Sly, bad. I'll just leave it at that. But I think we may have finally found ourselves a kicker. I have been so confident in Zane since game one, since he's been with the Panthers, and he has continued to prove me right. He has been so amazing, and he has been somebody that I have been impressed with week after week after week. He's consistent, and I think we might have found our guy. But I'm not going to jinx myself. I'm just going to continue remaining positive and sticking by what I say about Zane. But I'm really impressed with Zane Gonzalez, and shout out to him because he has held it down. And he shouldn't be the only one having to score for us. So, yeah, but shout out to Zane Gonzalez.
Hey, shameless plug. Watch my interview with Zane. It was really, really fun. It even shows me how to kick a field goal. So, shameless plug.
I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. He seems like a great guy all around. So, and he was funny too.
Yep.
But yeah, there's mine, Zane.
Guys, you can go. Whoever wants to say.
Go ahead, Tony. Since
I'm thinking still.
I think one positive is Hassan Reddick is going to be a billionaire at the end of this year at this rate. Like he's going to get paid, and it don't matter if we have any money. Nobody's going to want to play here at that point. Like, but he's going to get a lot of money, 8.5 sacks or whatever it is already. I mean, this guy's on fire. So kudos to him. He bet on himself and going to make a lot of money. And Christian McCaffrey finished the game. Christian McCaffrey finished the game. How about that?
True that. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Stephon Gilmore, dog. Like I really, really love this dude, dog. Like, I for real, like, this dude can really ball, man. You know what I'm saying? He's really been balling 2 games, and he looked better than all the cornerbacks we got. And I know that I'm reaching, but I'm just impressed by his style of play. I'm not surprised, but I'm just really impressed at what he's bringing to this defense, to a defense that's really young. Like I think we talked about, the defense kind of young and kind of all over the place. To have a veteran like that, I think that's a positive. I don't know what we're gonna do about him after this season, but I really like Gilmore, man.
Hey, only 16 or 17 snaps, I think, that he's playing. So, and he's getting an interception every game. That's extremely impressive to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Glad you said it. Is that leaving Shells with last? But not leaving.
Oh, Panther Nation podcast is in here. Hey, what's up? They interviewed Austin in the off season.
Shout out to Panther Nation.
Shout out to Panther Nation.
What's going on, y'all? My positive, the thing that I love the most, maybe not the most, but the thing that comes to mind in the 4 minutes that I had to think about it, I like the augmented reality Panther thing before the show. Like, honestly, I think that since the NFL is an entertainment industry, there's 2 ways to go about entertaining. Either be good or be interesting. And I think that pre-show stuff is very, very interesting. What if we could add more things? What if you had like just turn the whole pre-show into like guys coming through with parachutes, jetpacks? You could add so much of a pre-game flair, halftime show flair. I mean, just get Alicia Keys, spend the money. You look, we have David Tepper. If the play on the field is not very good right now, spend the money on entertainment for people in the stands. They're already going to be there 4, 5, 6 hours anyway. Traffic's going to be, what it is, coming out of the stadium. It may as well be worth their while. Let them get the most out of their tickets. I think that we have the beginning parts of a very good entertainment half of the experience with the Panthers. We could double down on that. We could be, at the very least, a very, very exciting sideshow. And I think
You treat me like Robbie Anderson the other day, man. You gonna make me narrow my question down for you. So if you can, that was great though. That was great. Give me one on the field player that you like.
Oh wait, I can't do Phil Snow.
You can do Phil Snow.
I like Phil Snow. I think Phil Snow has always been good at adjusting. I think when things are working against us consistently for a half, I like usually in the third quarter you see his adjustments very, very clearly, and the same things that were beating us before aren't. If it's things like missing tackles from like running backs running up the middle, that's things. I mean, what are you gonna tell them? Tackle better? I hope they would. But like but from a standpoint of how he wants to approach the game and setting up the plays, I think that he does a very good job of adjusting. And I like that about him for the last year and then this front half of this year. I think Phil Snow is the best coach we have on the squad right now.
Okay. Hey, Lauren, you want to take us out, or you want me to do the wrap up?
I mean, you can, but do we want to address the what was said in the press box, or do we not want to talk about that?
I think we do.
Well, y'all gonna talk about it. Whatever y'all talking about.
Okay, because I know you guys are wondering what was said. So I'm going to say the only thing that I heard. So,
you can give the edited version.
No, ain't no edit, none of that.
Well,
no.
we can't edit it because it was said.
I want director's cut.
It was said in the press box. Everyone heard it, so it's public knowledge.
Hold on.
Censorship.
You're Illuminati, Chris.
He almost took me out.
Okay,
taking it out like books out of schools.
2 words. I'm going to say 2 words, which will be enough, and you can let me know where your mind goes and where it takes you. So the 2 words that we heard in the press box, plain as day, from the referee on the hot mic was hard on.
What?
There you go. You can see your faces are perfect. That was our reaction. He was saying something about hard on to the other referee. So I will let you think whatever you want to think about what he was thinking. He was saying that on the hot mic. Thank God it was on a TV break because the world would have heard it.
Did the stadium hear it?
The stadium heard it.
Oh,
I don't know
Bank
if they
of
heard it as loud and as clear as we did, but we heard it loud and clear.
oh man, what they be talking about? That's why they can't catch these penalties.
Right?
No,
Their
he
minds
was
are
talking
different.
about
Pardon.
Well, there you
Pardon.
go. There you go.
No,
I think he was talking
no
about
way.
like the player trying to get
Josh
after the other
Gordon.
player.
All I know
Josh
is-
Gordon.
all I know
Type
is you
of
just
thing.
baited the chat, Lauren. You're just gonna get these boys going even crazier. Oh,
I
man,
know.
why do you
Oh,
say
I
it?
know. And then
Why
she
you say
said
it?
that. Oh, that's awesome. And
Sorry, Chris
I
wouldn't
ain't
say
even think
it.
about
Chris would not say it. I'm sorry. Chris would say it,
John-
would have said it. I wouldn't have said it. But
Well, she said
I
it now, Chris.
don't-
You're gonna get some subscribers.
John Gruden was the dang referee.
I don't know what
He would have said
on
something
earth.
different, I think.
He
would've
definitely
said something
said you
different.
would know if he said a P or an H. Believe
Yeah.
me, you would know if he said a P or an
And
H.
they was talking to each other.
And they were talking to each other, and he said,
Oh,
But he was talking about the
hard
game
that.
action.
"No,
Was
you
he?
don't know that. You don't know what he was saying because that's all we heard.
that ain't
Why
no
would
play.
he? What would he be talking
What
game
play is
action
that? What
saying those
formation
two
is that,
words?
Chris?
No, he was talking
Ah,
about a
that's
player
another
trying
word.
to.
That's another neighbor. He ran the hard on. That's
This
the
is so
enemy.
hard on the Panthers, maybe.
There you
No,
go.
he
We
was
shouldn't be
so
so hard on them.
Having
Yeah.
a hard on to get at
There
another
you
player type of thing. You know,
Regardless
that,
of what he
We
said,
got
it
a hold
was
of
still
it. I was
funny.
talking about
It's
this.
something to laugh about because regardless of what he was talking about, those are the only words that we heard in the press box. So that just makes it so funny. Like
Thank you,
everyone
Lauren.
in that press box was like, "What?" Like
Chris,
it was
come
so
on, you gotta
funny.
do better, man. Thank you,
Yeah,
Lauren,
it
for
wasn't
giving us the
even
real
that
news.
bad,
You come here
Chris.
telling us about what
Yeah,
Matt
Chris.
said today, and Lauren had the real news of the day. Oh, Chris,
How are you gonna say it? How are you gonna say it in an edit? What would be the edited version of that?
I know.
well, if I can try to put the context to it that I heard, when I heard it, he was talking about like a player has a hard on to try to get back at a player for something that he did. Like
But he
he's
didn't
trying to,
say that. He didn't
like
say
you know.
that.
This
he-
is why
he-
Matt Rule likes
still
you.
kind of
This is why
rude,
Matt Rule
man.
loves you,
It's
Chris.
still rude to say it in a
Exactly.
stadium full of
But he did
churn.
not say that. The only thing that we heard, he did not say any
You
of those
you
other
heard
words.
more than
were
just
in
that
it.
Chris
word.
trying to clean it up. Is that what's going on?
Yes.
No,
Let's
he's
ask everybody
more than
else.
just that
Roger
word.
got,
Let's ask
Roger
everybody in the
got
press
to
box.
him. Roger got to him.
Yeah, Chris, you that type of media now? You that type of media now, Chris? You trying to hide it from the people?
Oh,
You
look
trying to
at
hide it from
y'all.
the people.
He
Thank you,
did.
Lauren.
He did try to censor Lauren earlier. Oh
Yeah,
no,
so
I seen
if-
it
look,
happen. It happened
Boom.
live too. It happened live.
Boom. I love you guys. Look at this. I had to mute all you guys. Why'd you make me do that? I'm going to bring you back on, but I want to close out because it's past an hour and a half, and I really appreciate everybody being here. So Lauren said her part of it, but the context, he was talking about the players and how they were trying to get after one another, that kind of thing. We don't have the exact quote for it, but you do get to hear some crazy hot mic things there at the game. So, hey, I'm going to unmute you guys so we can all say goodbye. But I thoroughly appreciate my man, Pat Coletrain, coming on here. I thoroughly appreciate my co-host, Lauren, coming back on here for the evening. And you, my man, Tony Dunn of the C3 Podcast, and my man, Shells as well. Please follow everybody. That's all that I got. I appreciate it very much. Everybody have a good night. And hey, will you guys all come back at the end of the season?
I don't know if I'm allowed to, man. You might,
Yeah.
I know.
probably not
I feel
allowed
like
to say
I'm
what I wanna
censored
say.
now.
I
I'm
don't
censored
know.
now.
I just
I
had to
hate to be
close the
so hard
show.
on you.
Do I have to? Because it seemed like, are you gonna,
I gotta
I don't
end
know,
the
man.
show.
I'm
That's
scared.
all. I just gotta end the show.
I want my
That's
First
bad.
Amendment rights, Chris. That's all I want. That's all I ever
I think it
want.
was
Right.
it was good, Chris, and it was a good way to end the show on a laughing,
Free us.
funny note, because we were like real down earlier and talking kind of negatively. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's just like a funny way to end it. So
So
because
will you
that's
guys say
Fire
goodbye
Lauren,
now?
he's
That's
I
what
see
they
it in your
call.
eyes.
That's what they call a happy ending, Chris.
He took away left. This he took away
Oh
left.
man, and here's Chris opening up his emails in the morning. No credentials for the Panthers.
Right.
No, he's gonna
He
be
would-
Matt Rule's.
he would
He's
never
Matt
do
Rule's
that.
press agent, dude. He's Matt Rule's press agent now.
never do that
I'm
because
gonna give you
they all
guys
heard
$1
the same
to
exact
help
thing.
me say goodbye to everybody. Come on, please help me out.
All right,
Give
y'all.
that man
It's
one
been
super
great.
chat, man. One super chat on me. Hold on. I guess I can do it myself, ain't it? I don't even know how to send super chats. Let's see.
Pat, say goodbye. Lauren, say goodbye.
Bye,
Shell,
y'all.
say
All right.
goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
All right, y'all. You can check me out on onlyfans.com/Shellitron. We out of here.
Oh,
You got to
my
cut that out
God.
now. You look that you got Chris.
I also
Chris. You
forgot
done
to
lost
Listen to
your
me, Chris.
answer. I don't